Hello students, let us have a look on web technology and its applications, another video lecture. This is the course overview and course outcome. In the last class we have seen different selectors of the CSS. Now we'll have a next section of CSS, that is the cascade, that indicates how the styles are interacting. So what is the meaning of cascade? Why conflict happens, that we'll see here. The conflict arises in CSS because of many reasons. One of the reason is because of the different sources from which the style sheets are coming, like it may be from the author, user, or the default browser style sheet settings. Okay, another one is even though it is author created, that is a program, through the program written by the programmer, he can define multiple roles for the same HTML elements also through by using different levels of style sheet, different selectors, isn't it? There is a possibility. You have seen different levels of style sheet like inline, embedded, and external, and different selectors like ID selector, group selector, right? Class selector, universal selector, and many more, pseudo selector including, right? So the system has to decide how the browser should treat these conflicting rules or different styles rules specified for one a particular element to be displayed. That is what explained in the this particular section of the chapter. So cascade means how conflicting rules are handled in CSS. The method followed is cascade. The solution for this is through cascade. So the visual metaphor behind the term cascade is it is that a mountain stream progressing downstream over the rocks. The downward movement of water down a cascade is meant to be analogous to how a given style will continue to take precedence with the child elements. So what's the meaning of this, that we'll see with the examples rather. So there are three different cascading principles which are used to deal with the conflicts like inheritance, specificity, and location. We'll see the first principle, that is inheritance. Many of the CSS properties affect not only themselves but their descendants as well. Okay, so and text properties are usually inheritable in nature, whereas layout, sizing, border, background are not inheritable by the child elements. So first we'll see what is inheritance first. So when we have any HTML document, we can plot a tree like structure like this. So let me take an example here. So in this example you can observe that any of the HTML document will be having HTML as a root element. Under that mainly we are observing two sections. One is a head section and the other one is a body section. Under head you will be usually having a title tag. Apart from this we are using meta, link, then many others like style tag and all. So those all come under the head section. So in this particular section, if you look at, it's having several headings, H1, H2 level heading, paragraphs, right? Within a paragraph we have a hyperlink, right? So for this kind of structure may be formed, even though we are not able to see complete output of or complete code of this particular complete output of this particular T structure. So for any HTML document we write, we can plot a structure like this, tree structure like this, which indicates the inheritance of this. By this we come to know that body element is a child element of a HTML, right? H1, H2 are the siblings, right? They are lying in the same level, right? So image, H3, division, these all are the child elements of body, right? Time is a descendant of body indirectly, isn't it? So we'll see one CSS rule which is defined in this rectangle, right? You can observe that font family and color are set with certain value. Also it is mentioned with the border and margin properties. Among this, first two are inherited properties, right? Font properties are inherited, whereas border and margin are not inherited to that particular child element. So for that is the reason why even though we have specified the font color as red to the body section, it is applied to every descendant of that particular document. You can observe everything displayed in the red color. That is the reason. Okay, so how to force inheritance, right? I said only few properties or certain properties are inheritable and certain properties are not inheritable. So how to make that inheritable, not inheritable properties to be inherited by the child elements? You can just observe here, border and margin are not inheritable. You can explicitly say that take these values from the parents formatting style. So this is the way you can mention border colon inherit. So it will take the same margin and border as that of its parent. That is, this paragraph will take the margin and border as that of division. Yeah, now the question arises, whether border and margin are applicable for border paragraph. Yes, by default in HTML every element is having certain border and margin. When you display them, you are able to see. By default they are not visible even for the table also, right? When you make use of border with certain thickness, then you are able to see the border for every element of the HTML. So that's the reason when we set its border as one point, it is inherited by the paragraphs also, and you are able to see the borders for the different paragraphs as well. Okay, this is how you can enforce the inheritance, by means of specifying the value as inherit for that. Okay, so here is another example. In this, font weight is set as inherited. Font weight is set for the division. Margin and border are set, which are not inheritable. Yeah, same as the previous example. You are able to see only the font weight being applied to all other child elements of the division. Correct? Yeah, let us go for the second principle of the cascade, that is specificity. So it is the rule by which the browser determines which rule has to take precedence over which rule, right? The more specific the selector is, it has more precedence. That is, the previous definition of the particular rule is overridden. So let us see how this can be explained. How it works, we'll see. When several rules are specified, the one with the greatest weight is taking the precedence. How the browser assigns a weights to a particular style rule, that we'll see now. Okay, so specificity, the way we specify, the more it is specific, it has a higher precedence, we say. So let us look into this particular document and associated CSS file for this. So you have a body section. Under this we have paragraph, division, HR tag, and many other paragraphs. Certain paragraphs are specified with the class name also, right? And the CSS part of this is containing font weight and color specified for the body, and you know that font weight and color are inheritable to the child elements also. So when I plot a tree for this, division, paragraph are all descendants of body. So these two properties get inherited to these also, right? And again I am specifying the division should be with normal font weight and a color should be magenta, right? And again the inner part of a division is a paragraph. Within a division we have a paragraph here, right? So for this we are saying a color should be green, and for a particular class last we are saying the color should be blue. And this is the ID selector, which is applied to one particular element having the ID as a very last, right? So this very last ID is used. Remember, how do I say this is ID selector is whenever the name begins with the hash, always it is indicating ID in case of HTML, right? So which rule is applied to which element, you can observe in the output. The one which is more specific is applied with the rule. So the last one, very last, is appeared with the, it's more specific. We are saying it to one particular element, so it is applied with orange color, right? Last is the class selector, little bit broader than this, but compared to the above one, it is more specific. So this portion is appeared with the blue color, and the paragraph is more specific than saying it for a division. It is set to the child element itself. So if the rule is more specific to a element, then that is considered. So that's why the output comes like this. So outer part of paragraphs are displayed with the red color here, right? The one which appears in the division only is appeared with the magenta color, and later for all paragraphs it is appearing in green, and particular class it is appearing in blue, and one particular class with the ID selector is appearing in the orange. So this says that if you are more specific, then that rule is taken by the browser. We'll see the rest of the part in the next video lecture. Thank you.